These are pictures from about an hour ago when there was a huge downpour an hour ago and everyone was saying, right, what are we going to do this evening? Now, just to show you the enormous difference that can take place on a very high quality ground, an hour later, the downpour just emptied the clouds. It's probably the best thing that happened today. The clouds just emptied themselves. There was no cloud left. There's a lot of blue in the sky now. But what is even more critical is what is the surface looking like. There are people not just walking, playing, and play is about to start. As I said, it's nothing short of sensational and a huge lesson to be learned by people around the world. Get the drainage done, get the game out. It's great for television. It's even greater for the people who've paid money to come through. So has it affected the pitch at all? Alan Wilkins is down there with Ian Chappell, and let's hear from them.
Well, it is absolutely amazing. It's like chalk and cheese, as if this morning just didn't belong to this week even, because it is dry. And Ian, just your thoughts on the pitch first. Surely it hasn't been affected at all, has it?
Well, one of the things that they do differently here in England to certainly Australia and probably India as well, if this was Australia, they would have had at least some hessian down there,
yep,
and some other covers on top of it. And therefore you get the sweating underneath,
yep,
the covers. But because they have what they call the hover covers, so there's nothing actually flat on the pitch, that means that takes away the sweating thing. So I would say, looking at it, that the pitch, I mean, you've got to think that it's got to be freshened up a little bit. Certainly what I'd say for India is they better get in there quick and do some damage early on, because I think that's going to be the best chance. In other words, if they can follow on what they were doing last night, yep, because I think they were in great frame of mind late last night. Kumble was bowling very well. Repeat that first up and they might get a bit of joy.
And the other thing that you'll notice, with 1.25 million spent on this ground in the drainage, there's no problem for bowlers whatsoever. Not like some of the pictures from your tours here in 72 and 75, where you'd see just acres of sawdust all around the place. So there's no problem for the bowlers from either end here at all, is there?
There's no problem for the bowlers, there's no problem for the fielders, and there's no problem for the crowd, because they get to see obviously a lot more cricket than what they would have expected. But there is a problem for these gentlemen over here. I was just talking to Mike Hunt earlier on, and he said the ground stuff, we used to call those beer clouds. He said because you get clouds like that and you knew play was going to be off sometime in the afternoon, and he said we'd all be down the pub, yeah, having a few beers. He said all those days are gone now with this money they've spent on the drainage. He said because you get a lot more play. So obviously the MCC thinking about the people out there, which, yeah, is good, because they pay a lot of money to watch the cricket.
So Ian, we're going to see a lot of Anil Kumble bowling from this end. And is there anything? Yep.
Got a nice breeze to come into, yeah. Yep. I'd say he'll enjoy that breeze. Yep. And what's more, it's the perfect breeze for a leg spinner, because, yep, it's coming from fine leg as he's bowling. So that's ideal for Kumble. I think he'll enjoy that.
All right, Ian, just give us your thoughts then finally on this pitch that we're going to have play on today.
Well, I think it's a very good cricket wicket, and you'll probably find that it's hardened up a little bit. It wasn't great deal of sunshine, yeah, yesterday, but it probably get quicker as it dries out. It'll probably get a little quicker.
All right, Ian, thanks very much indeed. Absolutely amazing here. It is as dry as a bone. The outfield is fantastic. We've just walked across it, and as you can see, the players here, it's just an amazing performance here by the Lord's ground staff and Michael Hunt. And there's that hover going up now, so with the noise getting just a little bit increased here. Back to you, Harsha, up in the stand.
Isn't it amazing? I've yet to see a ground that's more like a sieve than an outfield, where the water just goes through. It's almost as if there is nothing there. Now, how does that affect play? And you'll be surprised to see how little play has actually been lost. So here's what we're going to have for the rest of the day. Revised playing time, 73.3 overs will be bowled. We've only lost 17 overs. I reckon we lost no more than an hour and 10 minutes of play. Tea will be taken at 16:10. And the scheduled close of play will be 1900. And the reason for that is that you can make up an hour, so you can go from 6 to 7, and lunch has already been taken. So only lost an hour and 10 minutes as a result, and it's looking pretty good down there at the back. Right now, before play starts, there is of course the ceremonial ringing of the bell. I mean, it's not like the stock exchange, but it's to say, look, we're getting ready for the game. That's a cue, isn't it, for the umpires? And there is Sunil Gavaskar, once not wanted, or he didn't want Lords, and he's now part of the establishment enough to go and ring the bell. That's nice. That's nice to see. Right, Ryan Sidebottom comes in along with Kevin Peterson. Don't ever let him know we said that about him. So there's Sidebottom and Peterson with England 268 for 4, and so much depends on this man. Be really happy to see him get on with it. He's 34 not out, which means he's got to start. But then it's a new morning. He's got to think he's 0 not out.
Well, yes, I mean, I said before yesterday that I'd like to see him sometimes play to the situation in matches and not to his reputation, but that's not really his want. He's an attacking player, he's an aggressive player, he likes to dominate the bowlers, he likes to make his mark, he likes to make a statement to the bowlers, so I expect him to go for his shots. I don't see him playing any other way.
RP Singh will complete the over. Remember, it's 80.3, and we believe we'll see a bit of Anil Kumble, but the most reassuring thing on the field at the moment is that colour at the back that you just saw. Lovely bright blue, and I really do believe that a downpour that took place was the best thing that happened to the game. If the clouds had been slow moving, overhanging, they would have gone on. Right, we're getting ready for the first ball, and let's go and join our commentary team there. Let's start with Ian Chappell, who's made a pretty quick journey back from the pitch report.
Thank you very much, Harsha. Not even puffing either. Well, just a little bit, maybe blow out a candle. But it is quite remarkable that they're out there playing cricket so quickly after that absolute downpour. Talking to Michael Hunt, the groundsman, and he thought that it would have been at least an inch of rain that we had in that short period. But that money they've spent, I think it was £1.25 million. It's been well spent. Bright sunshine at the moment. The pitch looks terrific still. I think it's a good cricket wicket, and I think we might find with some faster bowlers that there's a bit more pace and bounce, and perhaps a bit more joy there for the bowlers than what we saw yesterday. But India finished the day well. What they've got to do now is start this morning or this afternoon well, started in that same frame of mind. It's 268 for 4.
And that single will bring the night watchman Ryan Sidebottom on strike, and Kumble will fancy his chances with his variations, his quicker ball, his googly. Bowlers tend not to pick the ball out of the hand as well, so Rahul Dravid will be attacking, possibly with a slip and a gully and a silly point.
And from the look of it, the pitch is still dry. You know, there's not much moisture in the surface. As Ian mentioned when he was down there doing the pitch report, all the more reason I think I would have started with Kumble just to see for the half an hour or so, because there's every chance of him knocking the tail ender quickly.
And also the next batsman in Ian Bell against spin plays with bat and pad together, a little bit like Paul Collingwood. And that will bring LBW into play. There's a single to Sidebottom, that gets him off the mark. So it's the right move at the moment. If it doesn't work for a while, you can go to the new ball, and then Kumble won't mind bowling with a newish ball. He's that type of leg spinner that he likes the bounce anyway.
I've got to ask the question, why was mid-on back there? What the hell's going on? He was way too deep. You don't give Sidebottom an easy single to get away. Make him really work for that single.
Should get 2. 272 for 4. Cleaned him up. The sound of timber, and India strike early. RP Singh doing the job, getting his second wicket. And India get rid of the tail ender, Ryan Sidebottom.
Perfect situation to take the new ball there. Absolutely spot on piece of captaincy. It's done the trick. Ryan Sidebottom is gone, and it's 272 for 5.
RP.
Ian Bell, age 25, right-hand batsman.
272 for 5. And really, if you look at the scorecard now, India will be happy that they fought back in this fashion, because yesterday at one stage England were 252 for 2. 3 wickets in the last 20 runs. That's a good shot. Nice juicy half volley. And Bell puts it away to the boundary. 276 for 5. Edged and has it carried. Dhoni goes up. Peterson is walking. And a double blow here for England. The new ball doing the trick. First side bottom, and now the dangerous Peterson.
Wow. I'd be very interested in looking at that replay again. Peterson not waiting for a decision. For me, it looked like it bounced. Let's have a look. Has that bounced before Dhoni? I can't believe Peterson just walked off. Zahir Khan looking back at the umpire. Umpire Taufel gave Peterson out. Kevin Peterson has gone all the way to the pavilion. He wants to walk back now. I'm not sure you can do that. He's been given out. Kevin Peterson is marching his way back to the middle. The England balcony have waved to him. And now Simon Taufel is calling for the third umpire.
I'm not sure whether Simon Taufel might have got a message from Bucknor. Bucknor may have said to him, mate, I think you might have jumped the gun a little bit there. I'm not sure that it carried. Quite often with the gloves, as a fielder you pretty well know whether you've got to it or not, but that's because you've got bare hands. But the keeper with the gloves hasn't got quite the same feel. Never having been a keeper, I'm not sure, but he may well have not known the keeper.
That has bounced for sure. I think Peterson will be asked to carry on his innings. In fact, that's what's happened. Not out. I think a sensible move by Simon Taufel. I've known of umpires in the past who can get headstrong and will not go up and refer a decision like this, but common sense prevails. You're right, Ian. I think Steve Bucknor might have had something to do with that.
Dangerous ground though, Ravi, for me. A batsman's been given out. He's walked 5 yards away from the boundary rope to then look up at the balcony, and the balcony is sending him back on. It's obviously bounced, and now the right decision has been made, which I suppose is exactly what everyone is looking for. But it's a dangerous way to go in the game.
That's gone away to the boundary, leg by signal. Now there's a bowling change. RP Singh, who got a wicket in his last over, has been replaced by Srishant. That's in the air, but in the crowd as well. Zahir Khan might have thought he had a chance there, but that's gone the distance. So an aggressive start here by Bell. Boundary now 6.
It's carried a long way. It's top edge. The bowler would have been entitled to think that he had a bit of a chance of getting a wicket. And it's carried a long, long way.
Well, the finger's gone up here. Zahir Khan this time has struck. Peterson, the man dismissed, he was called back in the last over. No problems here whatsoever. So, just 6 runs added, but India got the double break.
Well, that one was a comfortable catch for Dhoni, and the bowler and the fieldsman will probably feel that justice has been served.
Matt Pryor, 25, right hand batsman, wicketkeeper.
Right, so Matt Pryor is the new batsman in. New ball is starting to pay dividends. First RP Singh knocked out Ryan Sidebottom. Then all that drama about the first Peterson dismissal and then the not quite dismissal. And then a big edge high on the bat as well. So it carried at a very good height to Dhoni. Right, 2 things clear about that. The first was definitely not out, irrespective of the sequence of events. The second was definitely out. Oh, what a ball. This new ball is doing things here. Someone who knows all about new balls is with me, Graham Gooch.
Yes, and Zahir Khan operating from the nursery and getting the ball to go down the slope here at Lord's, causing these right-hand English batsmen trouble. And I just think with the ball that's going away from the right-hander that disappointed in Kevin Peterson after the controversy that he's not quite lining the ball up right there and leaving the ball outside off stump, and Pryor the same. He's not bringing the ball into the right-hand batsman Zahir Khan. And really when the ball is outside your eye line, you can really with comfort let the ball go because you know it's going to go down the slope. It's only when a left-arm bowler has the ability to swing the ball in, and Zahir Khan has that ability, but he's mainly concentrating in pushing the ball across the right-hander. You don't have to commit yourself. Got to be smart about your batting. Leaving the ball is a good shot, you know, it's one of your shots as a player in a way. Good judgment outside off stump.
Oh, another single given away. Now there's a new man in. Zahir Khan's got his tail up. He's got he's like to bowl as many balls as possible to the new man in.
Yes, and Zahir Khan wants to make the new batsman Pryor play, and that's good bowling. Make him play. Don't get him a chance to leave the ball. That's poor fielding, whichever way you look at it.
You know, Graham, I think increasingly with the falling effort at stopping the ball, I wonder if fielders are thinking, I don't need to actually reach the ball because the length of my body is going to stop the ball. In the old days, people, oh, I mean, I know you're sounding very old, but people, you just reach the ball.
Well, yes, you've got to be athletic, haven't you? You've got to be mobile. It's not just about being able to run quickly. You've got to... England 287 for 6.
He's given him. I just thought, I wasn't certain of the sound, so I wondered if he was waiting to see if there might have been a couple of nicks on it. But this is a sensational morning's cricket here. 287 for 7, and another batsman goes to the new ball.
Well, England's 7 wickets go down. Matt Pryor doesn't like it, but not much foot movement here, right in front. And I think that's a pretty obvious decision from umpire Buckner. No shaking of the head from him. Another wicket goes for England.
Excellent work by India with this new ball. Good decision to take the new ball. England in real bother here. 287 for 7. Matt Pryor is the latest. He's gone for 1.
Chris Tremlett, age 25, right hand bat, right hand fast medium bowler.
New batsman is Chris Tremlett on debut. Right-handed batsman, 25 years old. His grandfather played for England and his father was a regular county player. I wonder how many there are. His grandfather played Test cricket, the grandson did, or the father missed out in between. I can think of one straight away. It was in our commentary box. I.M. Chappell. Oh, well bowled. What a good first ball, sir. It's all happening here, isn't it?
Bowling very, very well, India. The decision to take the new ball, and he must have been toying with the thought of continuing with Anil Kumble. But the response from the bowlers, who had an indifferent day yesterday, it perhaps didn't happen for the Indian bowlers, but new ball today, 287 for 7. India in a great position for me. This is a fantastic cricket pitch. If we get decent weather, ball England out 320, India can go well past England.
Just wonder, Tofu, is it good bowling? And it is better bowling, definitely. Or is there something here? That's the wicket.
This is the LBW for Pryor. No feet movement there, absolutely stuck on the crease. Big appeal from Sreesanth, and no doubt about that decision.
Well, they bowl well. Credit to the Indian bowlers, and they've had a night to reflect that perhaps it didn't happen yesterday. Perhaps they didn't get the ball into a testing area, but a new ball this morning, new day. Excellent work.
That looks close as well. It is! Oh dear, the drama continues here at Lord's. Sreesanth picks up another 2 in the over, and England are tottering here, 287 for 8.
Well, absolute carbon copy of Pryor's wicket. Tremlett not moving his feet, being trapped in front with Sreesanth. Just a straight ball, just slight angle, not much foot movement. England's 8th wicket goes down for 287.
There you are. Even Hawkeye thought it was out. Well, so Sreesanth will celebrate again. The ball nipping back in down that slope here at Lord's, and he will celebrate. And the intensity is such, I hope he doesn't damage something to celebrate so hard. Chris Tremlett gone for a duck. It's 287 for 8.
Monty Panesar, 25 years old, left-hand bat, left-arm spinner.
Monty Panesar is the new man in. 25 years old, cult figure all over England. That's when he's got ball in hand, but they love him when he's fielding and when he's got bat in hand, because he tries so hard, and starting to get a bit successful, which I suspect will take some of the romance away. Good shot. He's got to start playing these shots now.
Couple of great drives from Ian Bell, one straight down the ground, this through extra cover. He's got so much work to do now, batting with the tail suddenly. England had a night watchman, the jury's out about night watchmen, the worth of them. Bell dropping in at number 7, Pryor at 8, Tremlett at 9, and now suddenly Bell is left with Panesar, and there's only Anderson to come. What a shot that is.
Right, so much has happened, David, that we never got around to talking to you from the umpiring perspective about the Peterson dismissal. Let's try and put it in as much time as we've got. Right, this is what happened. There's the edge. They claim the catch. Now that is the key moment there. The finger went up. I think the key here, David, is did he come back because someone in the dressing room saw it and said go back, or is it that Steve Bucknor quickly came across and said hang on? Oh, they came from outside leg. There's something here. I think that if Steve Bucknor quickly came across, then there's nothing wrong with it. But if someone's watching in a dressing room on television and saying, go back, you're not out, then I think there's something wrong with it.
Well, the one thing that they can do is revoke the decision, to reverse the decision. They've got the right decision, and I think the important thing here that the Indian dressing room would also know, it's not one of those great controversies. They would see that that ball bounced. I don't blame the keeper in the slightest. He will have thought it's gone straight in. I see where you're coming from. Is it Peterson who's looked at the balcony and the balcony has said, no, you go back there, or is it Steve Bucknor or the third umpire who's just have a look at that because it's actually bounced? Get the right decision.
Look what the Indian dressing room thinks, though. Take a look at this now. They're watching it. That's Venkatesh Prasad, the bowling coach. Everyone very close, and the verdict is he won't make a good umpire.
They obviously have different TV sets in their dressing room, Harsha.
What I will say is if you look at it again, look really, really closely as the ball is going into the glove, you see grass rise up. The grass is disturbed by the new pitch. Oh, don't worry, Venkat. It's bounced, mate, just a bit, and only once.
I think he'll be a lot happier though, because his wards have done well today. He's the bowling coach and he'll be happy with the way his bowlers have done, so he's got something to smile about.
I think it is interesting the point you're making about who makes the decision to, look at the replay. Does it have to come from the umpire, or was he influenced by the fact that Peterson started to walk back to the crease?
Well, he may have been influenced by that, but he is in his right to change his decision. And there's so much technology, i.e. the third umpire, to look at it to see if the ball's actually carried. Prasad will now know, he'll have seen it so many times, he will know that the ball's bounced. No problem with the keeper, he thinks it's out.
How straight was that? Umpire thinks it was drifting down leg side. 292 for it. Follow wickets, look at it from the time Strauss went or from the time Vaughan went, because that is when they came back for the light. 252, 255, 272, 286, 87, 88. It's almost like you're calling the numbers here. Right, and just to end that issue, as the side screen comes along, if it's the people in the dressing room who are influencing it, then ethically you shouldn't show the replay till the decision-making process is complete then. Good shot, and that'll run down the slab and run away quite easily. No, it won't. It'll pull up. I just got the feeling from the way the fielder was running that he didn't seem too interested in getting there quickly, so they'll come back for 3. It's 295 for 8.
Well, England have got themselves in a jam. I'm not a big fan of Night Watchman. I just think it messes things around. Sidebottom came in last night. England last night were preoccupied by the light, trying to tactically get off the field and looking to get into the umpire and say it's too dark, and then they lost 2 wickets. Sidebottom comes in. I'm not a big fan. I don't think it works. Bell suddenly is number 7, and then Pryor is number 8. India do well. Bang bang, 2 wickets, and Bell's left with Panesar and Anderson.
Yes, just to put things in perspective, he's played 22 balls and at least 8 or 10 of those have come with Monty. So he's looking at number 10, having played 12 or 13 balls. Now here's Monty Panesar. 4 balls from Sreesanth to tackle. It's a good ball. Doing too much.
Steve Bucknor just exercising his authority out there. He's a character, this Sreesanth. Look at him, he looks at the big screen, he gets into a dialogue with the bowlers. I saw him have a great encounter with Andre Nell. I've never seen anything like it. He started dancing round him. Brilliant. He's a character, the boy.
Well, you need characters in the game, and certainly I thought that was a good shout, maybe just going down leg side, but good idea from Sreesanth, trying to pitch the ball up, move the ball into the left-handed batsman, potential LBW.
That should be very close. It is. And if Monty didn't know, Sreesanth has confirmed it. He's bowled beautifully. He's getting the swing in the right areas now.
LBW again. Excellent bowling. Great work by India. By India's seam and swing bowlers. Oh, that looks absolutely plumb. Is it the front leg or is it the back leg? It's missing leg, it's missing off, it's hitting middle. It's a terrific piece of bowling. It's a procession of England batsmen. Here's the celebration again. Monty, you're on your way, son. Out he goes. India in a great position here. Panesar none. 297 for 9.
James Anderson, age 24, left arm back, right arm fast medium bowler.
Well, it's a wonder he's had enough time to put his pads on, because they're just fleeing at the moment. 297 for 9 in the commentary box. Ian Chappell is back with Sunil Gavaskar, and so is Alan Wilkins.
So 1 to go for India, and this has been a terrific second day for them. All the frustration penned up in that dressing room. What a difference a thunderstorm can make. And the thunderstorm at the moment with Srisanth. Here he comes. 3 for 66. Can he make it 4? It's been a very heartening performance, Sonny.
Very heartening. Because India yesterday were disappointing with the new ball, but today with the second new ball they've been on target. And this is the that was the ball before the wicket, and now this is the wicket. Cleaning Monty Panesar up. The late swing from Srisanth. He's bowled exceptionally well. Zair Khan also seems to have cut down on pace to get some accuracy, and he's looking the better bowler for it. 9 down for 297. And Srisanth has taken 3 wickets, looking for his 4th. Just a little too excited, I think, and a wide ball. This is what India did yesterday, striving for pace, striving for movement. They bowled way off line. Now, today when they came in, they were not charging in as much as they did yesterday. Yesterday they seemed to be like excited schoolboys, having a look at some chocolates. And today they haven't seen any chocolates anywhere. And that's the reason they bowled on target.
Nicely played, but Ian Bell declining the run. It's the last ball of the over, and so the judgment made by Ian Bell. It's 298 for 9. Oh, he's played it on. Zahir inflicts the final blow, and that has been a wonderful performance by India and India's bowlers. They have bowled England out for less than 300, and this has been a fabulous performance.
Well, I was talking the start of the day that if India bowled really well, they could perhaps restrict England to 350. They've done better than that. They've kept them under 300, which is quite remarkable when you think that they were so dominant on the first day. Probably up until 15 minutes before stumps, they were totally dominant. And now they're all back in the pavilion with only 298 on the board. Almost as remarkable as the change we've had in the weather. It was so bleak early on, so black, and lots of heavy rain, and now we've got brilliant sunshine. But India have enjoyed the sunshine and they've performed well. They've followed up what they did last night with good bowling and enthusiasm, and it's paid off.
298 all out, 28 extras, 91 overs and 2 balls. And those runs at the top of the order on day 1, Strauss with 96, Cook the first to go 36, Michael Vaughan with 79, Peterson 37, and then it was India's bowlers who took control. Kumble, R.P. Singh, Zahir Khan, Srisanth. 298 all out. So a bright sunny day, and India will be looking for a bright sunny start. Wasim Jaffer and Dinesh Karthik opening for India, and to open the bowling for England, Ryan Sidebottom, the left arm swing bowler.
Well, I've been pretty impressed with Sidebottom. I watched a bit of him against the West Indies, and he looks to me like a bowler who knows what he's doing. He knows where the ball's going. He's got control over his deliveries, and I was extremely impressed with him. And I think the conditions today will suit him.
Well, that's the shape he wants, isn't it? It's normally you'll see the left-arm bowlers bowling from the members' pavilion end, but if you just have a look at the flag, look at the flag on top of the grandstand. That wind is going straight across the ground, left to right, as you watch your photograph, your picture, and there we are. That's the flag. It's a fairly strong breeze. That's on the top of the grandstand, and that's coming over Sidebottom's left shoulder. Oh, it's well bowled. So he's going to get that shape. He gets it naturally enough, so that wind will be on his left side of his face, going into those pads of Dinesh Karthik.
I think apart from the good bowling that we saw today from India, I think there's a bit more in this pitch than what we thought yesterday. I think one, England batted pretty well, and two, India didn't bowl so well. But I think there's a bit there. We might see a few more wickets yet. Sorry, today I mean. Obviously we'll see some more in the match, but today I think we could, as long as we get a bit more play, I think the bowlers may well have the best of it today.
There's plenty of rain, and however much you might cover the ground, some of it might have actually seeped on a little bit from under the surface, which happens with the wet cloth or sponge. It could be anywhere around, but it is actually, you know, the whole the cloth can get wet, even if you've got it only on one corner of the cloth.
No good looking at me, mate. Once you start getting into that scientific bent, you're looking at the wrong bloke. Look to your left, look to Al if you need help.
No, then I think I better look out and watch what's going out. No help from left, no help from the right.
Stick to cricket and we can help you, mate, but once you get onto science, you've lost us.
That really wasn't science. That's you know, just the practical experience of, you know, the handkerchief, for example. You wet one corner of the handkerchief heavily, the rest of the handkerchief gets wet. And on that note, the first over is completed, none for none. Late movement there. Well, he would have had his heart in his mouth. Wasim Jaffer. That's been one of the reasons why Jaffer's had a pretty up and down career, because in the initial stages of his innings he can be a little lazy with his footwork.
I was just looking at his stats there, 4 test centuries in 20 matches. That's pretty good going, but the average not as good as he would like. That one just missing leg.
It's a great shape, and he just wants the finger to go up. Ryan Sidebottom has hit the mark straight away in this opening spell. He's a bit pacey and he's got good shape with the ball. Lots of strong shoulder there from Sidebottom, a little bit too high.
This gets the ball to move late into the right-handers, so both Karthik and Jaffer will have to get well forward, try and cover the swing, create doubt in the umpire's mind. In case the ball wraps the pad, he'll be happy to get off the mark.
Just looking at that side on replay, virtually when the ball hit the pad, his feet were around about the crease mark. It was really only the force of the ball hitting him that took him back behind the crease. If you look at the impact, it's virtually on the crease when it hits him. Now the force of the ball hitting him, that's when it takes him back. But really, as a batsman, if you're playing back, you should be back where he finished up, and you should be back there of your own volition, not because the ball's hit you and forced you back.
Let's put him down. Was that a catch for first slip? Pryor was diving across and he spilled it.
Well, the keeper, once he starts to go, he puts the first slipper off. That was a keeper's catch, but you probably find that the better keepers would have actually been there without diving. Once you're diving at a ball that close, it probably means that the footwork isn't as good as it should be. The best part about that was the bowler. If you look at Ryan's side bottom, he wasn't standing there glaring at his fielders like some fast bowlers would be. He saw it go down, the head went back, and he turned on his heel and went straight back to his mark. He might have been thinking some very bad thoughts about the wicketkeeper, but he wasn't creating that impression by looking at the wicketkeeper.
Well, that's pretty much an Australian trait. I noticed with the Australian bowlers as well. Most of the Australian bowlers just turn on their heels and walk back, and I think that's a good thing, because as far as team spirit is concerned, that's so important, not to let your teammate down and let him know he's made a mistake. It's 2 for no loss.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot. It's good running by the fielder, but just 2 runs coming from it.
4 for no loss. And this is a very fine bowling effort so far from England. It's desperate times. Batsman hanging in there. Good run. It's so important that from an Indian perspective that they see out the new ball, they see out the period when it's doing such a lot, because that's one of the jobs of an opener, not just to come in and scatter the fielders around, but also to help 3, 4, 5 and 6.
Especially with this batting lineup that India possesses. They've got plenty of experience in the middle order. They bat deep. So if you don't lose wickets to the new ball, then the England bowling attack will come under pressure.
Just a gentle nudge, they look at 2 here and get them quite easily as well. Cover the swing well. Well, we're talking of the need to keep that middle order as a middle order. The reason is that you've got batsmen to come with outstanding averages, and you want them to play in their numbers. 57, 55, 41 to Ganguly. VVS Lakshman is around there as well, 42. And England's best chance really is to get into them as quickly as possible.
Well, definitely while the ball's new and still moving around. It's a pretty impressive middle order. A lot of experience, a lot of runs, a lot of know-how.
It's beautifully timed as well. Not much of a flourish, but you don't need that when you time the ball as well as Jafar has.
Yes, he likes it there. He plays that shot nicely, the off drive. Good to see him using his height to good advantage. Good stride forward, not trying to hit it too hard. Nice full face of the blade offer as well.
Well, that story, Ravi, is indeed true, and I got it from our friend Clayton Murzello, who follows Bombay cricket for years and years. And maybe Brother Kaleem needs to come across and give him a slap every time he goes out to bat. Well played.
Yes, I particularly like that shot up to mid-off, because as the left armer swings the ball in, he's trying to bring the ball into middle and off stump, and you present that full face, as Ravi said, no risk. That's your sort of target area as a right-hand batsman. If the ball is bowled a bit wider, going across you, I think early on you don't have anything to do with it, because you're going across the line of the ball as it angles towards the slips. So that's good thinking, good game plan.
That is well timed as well. Monty is chasing it. The ball is playing a game with him, but just goes before him into the boundary rope. 15 for no loss. 16 for no loss after 8 overs. It's not the score that matters, but the fact that India haven't yet lost a wicket. It's been against some pretty good swing bowling. Right, and the reason it is such a good combination, right, both of you opened the batting in Test cricket. You've got one man swinging the ball away from the right-hander, the other swinging it back in.
Yes, so you've got to be positive with your footwork. I just feel both these bowlers might just be better off just getting it further up, making the batsman play a little more. Both opening batsmen good off the back foot.
The more dangerous thing, I'm sure, would be if the same man brought it in and out. They should look for 3 here, or will they be satisfied with 2? Jaffer is happy with 2, and prudent it was 2, unless of course they ran the first quicker.
Yes, I think as far as the captain's concerned, what is good about having 2 swing bowlers, one right arm, one left arm, it poses different problems for the batsman. That is the key. Different angles, different amounts of swing. So the batsman has to set up differently. He's confronted by different slight changes in his technique to deal with this, and that's what you want in a bowling attack. You want variety. You don't want all the same type of bowlers, and you don't want all the same pace of bowlers either.
That's a close one. He's given him. I think the batsman knew it. And the reason was, as Ravi just said a couple of balls ago, this was fuller, and so hit him lower on the pad.
That's exactly what he's done. What he also did, Harsha, was he gave himself a chance to swing the ball a little more. Just felt they were a little bit on the shorter side. This was up, and he's gone. He's a dead duck. That's plumb. It's come up the slope, would have hit middle stump. And side bottom rewarded with a wicket. He should have got one earlier, that of Jaffer. But he's got Karthik now. Just what England wanted. 18 for 1.
Rahul Dravid, age 34, right-hand batsman.
"34 years old and with an awesome record behind him. The last time he came here in 2002, he had a fantastic time. 9,366 runs. He's a titan. He's one of the modern greats. 57.46 at number 3. I think anybody scored more runs at number 3 than Rahul Dravid has. Ponting is fast on his heels at that number. Ponting started at number 6, remember. It's never easy to come in when the ball is swinging around like that.
Yes, he's been a model of consistency right through his career. Can't remember him going through a period where he didn't get runs. Easily the tightest technique in the this Indian lineup.
Certainly be a challenge for his technique in these conditions. No doubt side bottom will be hoping to pitch the ball forward and swing it back into him.
Yes, you could see what he was trying. Wanted to bowl that full length delivery early on, try and get the batsman on the pads.
It's so difficult early on, and this is the wicket. Perfect delivery for a left arm seam bowler swinging in. Karthik not getting the front foot out enough, defeated by the swing and the movement.
Well, it's just to show that not every ball will swing back into the right-hander.
I was going to say that I played with a top-class left-arm bowler at my club, John Lee, you'd know in India quite well. A controversial series in 1976, I think, taking 7 wickets in his first test.
7 for 46, I think it was, Delhi.
And he always used to say that when the ball is swinging, you try and bowl the ball towards first slip, and if it swings back in to off stump, then great, you're on target. If it doesn't, it still goes across the batsman, it still causes a problem.
"18 for 1 after 9. So Dinesh Karthik, the man out for 5. Already 7 wickets have fallen today, and there's 3 hours of cricket left. Here's 2 stories about
John Lever that come to mind. First, of course, was a 7 for 46 that led to the whole, was it Vaseline, was it lip ice controversy. The second was, he then came back to play, yes, that was the wicket. Said hit him low, right on the knee roll. It was always going to go on and hit the stumps. I think he came back and played one of the Jubilee or the Centenary Test. There had lots of them around in those days. The one in which both of them did just about everything you could. Sunil Gavaskar hit him over long on for a 6 in the first over. Straight slog right out of the ground. He didn't like it. That's gone for 4 byes.
Well, I remember that because I played in that game. And he posited the ball out of the ground almost. Obviously he wanted to negate the swing early on.
You know, what made it interesting was that Sunil Gavaskar grew up from the school of thought that said, if you hit the ball in the air, then you run around the ground with your pads on, because, you know, the old school, you played it all along the ground. Oh, well bowled. And then came the shot from nowhere.
Well, I don't remember Sunil hitting too many balls in the air when I played against him. I used to remember him putting all the bad balls away, and our guys used to bowl and bowl and bowl at him. He spent a lot of time in the middle. He's a fantastic player.
He's gone through. They might have got a hand to it. It'll cut the scoring to a very, very easily run 2. That's Chris Tremlett. Isn't that on those numbers that give anything to possess 5 double hundreds? One of the very few people in world cricket who have done that. 270 versus Pakistan, 233 Australia. Now look where they've come. 222 Ahmedabad, but then 217 at the Oval. Then 200 versus Zimbabwe in Delhi. 3 of them came away. We Indians, Ravi, tend to value performances away so much more, don't we? The moment we see batting signs, we look for whether it was home or away.
Well, that's a true test of a top-class player, isn't it? Being able to adapt, get runs in all conditions. And he's done that over the years.
A couple of other big hundreds you won't see in that. The 180 when Lakshman was making 281 at the other end. In that innings against Pakistan, they put on 410 for the first wicket.
No!
24 for 1 after 10 overs.
Jimmy Anderson really got picked originally for England because of his ability to swing the ball, particularly out to the right-handers.
It's gone. That's a great catch. Anderson has removed the Indian captain. Dravid is on the way back.
Well, that's the ability. That's the reason why they like to have him in their side, because he can go out to right-handers. I've seen him get Ricky Ponting early with one like that. And if you can get those sort of players, Ponting, Dravid, if you can get those sort of players early with an outswinger, you are worth gold to your skipper. That's a big wicket for England, and it's 27 for 2.
Hi, I'm Sachin Tendulkar. I'm 34 years old. I'm right-handed batsman, right-arm bowler.
27 for 2, and in comes Sachin Tendulkar. And invariably he comes into an innings where he's virtually opening the batting. Here he is playing his 138th Test match, 37 Test centuries, 43 half centuries, an average of 55, and what a wonderful reception he received.
pressure now on Wasim Jaffer now that Rahul Dravid's back in the pavilion. He's got his Mumbai teammate Sachin Tendulkar with him at the crease, and they'll be chatting a lot with each other, as you can see straight after this drive. Good movement there by Wasim Jaffer. Can be a little lazy at the start of the innings, but he seems to be settling down now. The feet certainly are moving. He's using the crease well.
Well, Jimmy Anderson's specialty is late outswing. When he's bowling really well, he gets the ball to swing late. He bowls at a pretty lively speed. He's probably mid-80 mile an hour, 85, 86 miles an hour. If you can bowl 85, 86 miles an hour and swing the ball away late, you're going to get a lot of players out, and a lot of them will be top-class players. Top-class players, you've got the advantage in bowling to a player like Dravid. They're generally good enough to nick them. The tail enders will probably play and miss that sort of delivery.
It's nicely pushed away by Tendulkar to get off the mark. Tremlett gives pursuit, and Tendulkar wants a third. It's good running. Tallest man in the ground, Chris Tremlett. Father Tim played for Hampshire. I think he's now director of cricket at Hampshire. But Tendulkar off the mark, 34 for 2. 35 for 2. You're watching Star Cricket. We are live and exclusive here at Lord's, and this is a big moment now for Chris Tremlett. 6'8", 6'9", I believe he is. He is a debutant now in this Test match. Big moment for Chris Tremlett. Coming on from the nursery end. Wasim Jaffer will face 21. He's got Jaffer. Tendulkar on 3. First ball in Test cricket for Chris Tremlett of England.
Well, I must say I was a little surprised when the talk before the game was that Tremlett was going to play ahead of Broad. I was staggered by that, but we were told that the reports are that he's bowling pretty quick and really getting the ball to bounce. Then there seemed to be another theory that Stuart Broad might have a bit of an injury, and they picked that up in training. Apparently from some of the things that he was doing, they picked up the fact that he did have a bit of an injury, and they weren't game to play him in the match because they felt that he was injured. So Tremlett's got his opportunity. I saw him in Australia. It was only playing in one-day internationals, but he looked to me like a bowler who felt that he was a bit fragile. He almost looked as though he was bowling to make sure that he didn't get injured. You sort of felt that there was a bit more there, that he could have got a bit more out of it if he'd put a bit more into his bowling. He tended to look like a bowler who was just putting the ball there rather than really banging it into the track.
Well, there's another name I've been reading about in the English papers this week who has been picking up wickets for Somerset, and that's Andrew Caddick. But he was discarded about 3 years ago on the grounds of age from the England squad or the England side. So how old is he now? 39 now. 39 years of age, Andrew Caddick, but still taking wickets for Somerset.
Yeah, the Indians won't mind him playing. They clobbered him in the 2002 series. They won't mind him playing at all.
Headingley, wasn't it? Oh, that's a beautiful delivery. That is Jaffer turned around by Tremlett.
Yes, that's a Jaffer to Jaffer. Movement and bounce, difficult to play. Late movement and look at the bounce. That's what he's been taken in the team for, because he can get the ball to bounce a little bit more with his height.
End of the over, 35 for 2.
He's a tall man, they all go up. Michael Vaughan appealing as well from mid-on, but you'll have to see the bounce here.
I think this is where that slope comes into play. I reckon this ball is just angling in, probably just beating leg stump. It's close, he might have hit it as well. So he gets the favourable decision from umpire Buckner.
Worked away on the onside, that'll go down the slope. Good effort by Sidebottom, but not good enough. It's a boundary to end the over. 42 for 2. That's a good shot. He knows it's 4 the moment he hit it. He's growing in confidence now. His left delivery is outside the off stump. Quick to bounce on that one.
Well, this is the thing about Jaffa. It seems that if he gets started, he goes on and gets a big one. So you want to get him early, because he tends, once he gets in and gets set, he tends to make the most of it. His feet are starting to move pretty well. Early on, the feet weren't going so well. He was getting caught on the crease a bit.
Yes, he's got 200s in his last 3 test matches. That's gone through. He shouts for 2. Should get it comfortably. He goes after that one and will get a boundary for it. He went hard. There was width on offer. Let's see Sidebottom just looking for that swing, not getting it on that occasion.
Sidebottom delivering that ball wide of off stump, hoping for some swing back into the right-hander. Tendulkar shaping for the drive and then continuing to follow the ball. Slightly fortunate, thick outside edge, but throwing the bat hard at the ball, and therefore no real danger of a catch.
Occasion he got the ball to come back. That's where he's got a ball. That's the kind of length. Further up, drawing the batsman forward. And this is going to be a good shout.
Shows success there for the bowler, but pretty close, a bit high maybe. Certainly in the right area, the danger area.
But once he settles down, like he has now, he uses the crease very well. When he plays off the back foot, you'll see that he goes right behind, almost onto the stumps. And once he settles down, he's a big 100 man. Transfers the weight here.
Nicely played. There'll be 2 runs here. Michael Vaughan gives chase. 25 gone, 58 for 2. .25 overs, 58 for 2. Nice piece of fielding. Michael Vaughan in that mid-on position. That sight screen at that end now, from which Tremlett is bowling, did when you were playing here, did that give you a problem?
It did when I first started, because you're not used to it. Usually in England, all the county grounds, you just have a sight screen. Here at Lords, the idiosyncrasies of Lords, you have people, the members sat in front of the sight screen. You like to watch the ball all the way onto your bat. And when you first go in, it is a little bit of a problem. It's there you see the members sat, and there the sight screen behind. So what Tendulkar's doing when he's batting at the nursery end now, out of the hand it will come out the white side screen. But then as it gets 3/4 of the way down, the ball's coming out of the members. It's lucky today that the members aren't full, which surprises me with Tendulkar batting. So there are a few white seats in there that Sachin can pick the ball out of. So once you get in, it's not a problem, because you just watch the ball out of the hand and you're fine. But especially for Tendulkar, because if anyone's fussy about screens, he is.
I did hear as well before the match started that Sachin had asked that he felt that the red signs, the end power signs at that end, were also a distraction, that he wanted someone to cover them up. But that was a problem. Red sign, red ball. But they are the sponsors.
Yeah, at one stage yesterday there was some white cloth put up there, and I think they were going to put it down, but I think the sponsor had their way.
Oh, we'll have to hurry here. Tremlett did well.
He won't be happy with that. He likes to move along, get the strike rotating, even if it's a leg by. He won't be happy with that, because in any case it was his call. He's gone a fair distance down, and Wasim Jaffer has said no.
Wasim Jaffer, pray that Sachin Tendulkar's not out in these two deliveries.
Well, that's gone. It's hit hard for 4.
Yes, he'll play that shot. So long as there is no third man there, he will play that shot, because he has played it well in South Africa. He's used that shot to good effect in Australia as well. So if you give it short and wide, he will take full advantage of it.
Bit of anger in that shot as well, because of the previous delivery and no run, and he hit it for 4, and he went up to Wasim Jaffer and there was words exchanged, but a lot of anger from Tendulkar. There you see, not happy.
End of the over, 62 for 2. No third man, and that'll run away for another boundary.
Yeah, you asked me earlier where I'd have Panesar. I'd definitely move him down to that third man. Tendulkar will obviously play differently if there's a third man in, but as Sunil's been saying, he likes to say leg side, use the bounce, and either roll it down or go up and over. So 2 boundaries down to third man for Sachin.
Well, that fielder at deep square leg certainly wasted, because Sachin Tendulkar doesn't employ the hook shot as much as he employs the cut over the slip shot. So maybe a fielder there would be more beneficial for England. Well, Jaffer was out of his blocks very quickly, and now a smile from the little champion. It was almost an action replay of the previous over. Jaffer was a little reluctant.
He's one of those opening batsmen that he just goes into his own little shell, doesn't he? I don't think he's on purpose turning down the run. He's just sort of got into his zone, as they call it, and he forgets to run sometimes, which is not the thing to do with Tendulkar.
It's nicely played. It's gone very fine for 4.
Easy runs these for Wasim Jaffer on the pads. No protection. The fielder is a little squarer. Very little protection, just helping it along, Wasim Jaffer.
Now this will race away into the shadow of the stand. Well, that's been a fair old chase. It's gone now, though. Was it worth it? It's gone for 4, and it's 76 for 2.
Oh, it's taken up. Did it take a hand? It certainly flew pretty close to first slip. 50 of the partnership comes up. Strauss has got a very safe pair of hands in that area normally. How far away from him was it? First slipper, Graham Chappelli?
Well, I think it's sort of a half chance, but Strauss didn't really get the elevation he needed. Didn't go to hand, quite away from him in the end. And if you're going to cut, you've got to cut hard. And fortune was with Wasim Jaffer there.
Nudging the ball away for a couple. It's just to complete that story. So then Tendulkar didn't get that award as a young man, 14 years old. Had scored a lot of runs, and then he got a little note from somebody, handwritten note from somebody, which he's kept still, which is congratulations, keep going, and don't worry too much about not getting this Young Cricket of the Year award, because I know someone else who didn't, and he hasn't done too badly in life himself, and was signed Sunil Gavaskar. And can you imagine a 14-15-year-old getting a letter like that? He's treasured it for a while. The other thing he's kept is a couple of bottles of champagne. That's a good shot. It's well placed. I'm not quite sure it's as well timed as he wanted to. Tendulkar wanted 3, but Jaffer is quite happy with 2. You remember you were part of that series, 1990, when he got that 100 at Old Trafford. And I think they presented him the champagne moment of the game. There's a letter in the Times the next day saying, how can you present champagne to someone who's not yet alcohol, to someone who's not yet 18?
Well, that's a fair comment. He might have been 18 a number of years, but he was very mature as a batsman, I can tell you that. Because he looked the part that day at Old Trafford, even for one so young. Good balance, good poise, good temperament. Interested in Ian's comments about the great all-rounders. Obviously doesn't rate IT Botham that highly. Took 380 odd wickets, 5,000 runs and over 100 catches.
What was his record against the West Indies?
West Indies, you agree, he wasn't as good as always. Pretty good against Australia though.
Not against the better Australian sides.
That'll run away for a boundary. We're not going to run away from that topic though. It's 89 for 2. Well, a little cheer around the ground because Monty Panesar, Madhusudan Singh Panesar, is on strike with the ball rather. 18 matches, 65 wickets. 6 times he's got 5 wickets in 18 matches. Now if you think that 5 wickets in an innings is the equivalent of 100, that's a record that's similar to Alistair Cook's, isn't it? He's got what, 19 tests and 600, so he's made a good start.
Yeah, and he's on top of his game as well. He had a brilliant series against the West Indies recently. Granted, the West Indies, I don't think, come to the party too much in terms of the test matches. They didn't seem to be too interested, and he was too good for them. But I think this is going to be his biggest test so far. He's an accurate bowler, he spins it, and that's important because the batsman knows that he's capable of turning the ball across the right-hander. But he's coming up against some class players here. So I think we're all waiting to see how he's going to match up against the man he's going to bowl to first in this test series.
The man was also his first test wicket. It's been suggested then over the years that left-arm spinners aren't Tendulkar's favourite bowlers. And I seem to recall a story I read in the papers a couple of days ago that he'd invited 2 left-arm spinners to bowl to him in the nets here.
One of them may have been Dilip Doshi's son.
Does it have enough in it to go all the way? I'm not sure. Well, he's searching for the ball, Sobi. I think it's gone beneath him.
Tremlett trying the sliding tackle, soccer style. But this is innovation from Tendulkar. A little paddle sweep they call nowadays. It's a good shot as far as I'm concerned, because there's no fielder there, so he's evaluated the field, he's looked for the gap, and he's got the reward for it.
That's enough. Enough on it to race away to the boundary.
Well, that's more like the Tendulkar you got used to seeing. Really just dismissed that one. Didn't even, well, he might have wandered a couple of paces out of his crease after he hit it, but he certainly wasn't running. Just jogged a couple and then knew exactly where it was going. Lovely flick of the wrists.
.98 for 2. Well, you're wondering what's the big deal about Tendulkar 34. Well, for all you trivia lovers, that's now his highest score at Lord's. It's only his 4th test match here, so I'm not sure you've got enough to draw a statistical inference from it. Right, and just to take you through those run of scores. There we go, and as you go along, 2006, 8 matches for 24. That was a bit of an aberration, as indeed was 44. And my only point on 44, and we made a bit of a song and dance about it back in India that year as well, and the year that followed. 24 is an aberration, but I think most batsmen would take 44. And I think one of the problems with being Tendulkar, and as indeed it is with being a Lara or a Ponting, is that you tend to get weighed by your own standards. So if you average 55, then 44, 43, 44 is a come down. Having said that, most batsmen would take 44. How well is that time? A couple down to deep cover.
Well, his timing nearly fooled Kevin Pietersen. Pietersen, when he started off from the rope, was coming in to field that ball, and then he realised it was hit better than he thought, and he started to back off a little bit and in going after the ball. So he took a rather strange route to the ball.
Brought up the 100 as well. So I think India, right? I think he's decided that he's going to dominate Panesar as much as he can.
I think that's the right tactics, I think, against a quality bowler, and Panesar is that, and he spins the ball hard. But you've got to take a fight to him and play what I call a mixed game, mixed defence and attack. Don't let the bowler settle. Show him you're there. Take the odd calculated risk.
Well, that's going to run away down the slope as well. He's done well to pull it back. So batsman will take 3 now. They're going to go for 4 as well. So a lot of effort. Don't fault the effort. And he ran and completed the run that brought him his 50. Well played, Wasim Jaffer. And they're all up there saying well played to him as well. It's 106 for 2 after 35 overs. James Anderson has produced it for England. 106 for 3 now, India, and Tendulkar departs for 37.
This is a full ball from Anderson. Catches Tendulkar on the crease. Not a lot of foot movement. Looking to play it on the leg side. Missing, and that's a full ball, and that looks right in front. Nothing wrong with that decision. The great man goes. Not 100 for him here at Lord's in the first innings. India 106 for 3.
Hi, I'm Saurav Ganguly, age 34, left-hand batsman, right-arm medium pace bowler.
Saurav Ganguly returns 11 years later to the scene of his debut performance here. It was quite a performance then, but he's moved on. 94 matches, 93 after that one. An average of 41, 5,500 runs, 13 centuries. 2 of those were on that first trip here. First one here at Lords, the second at Trent Bridge. We'd love to add to that tally.
Seeing the wicket at Tendulkar then. No noticeable foot movement, getting caught on the crease. And will be.
163 then after 36.
Well, they've gone back for a second. It's clipped something, but not the wood. It's the end of the over, 108 for 3. Now the last ball of that previous over from Anderson.
Well, it clipped the top of his pad.
Oh, it's gone. Ooh, it's gone through, but it could have been the end of Ganguly. And it'll be 4 runs, very lucky runs.
Yes, nice, tempting the wideish half volley that from Monty Panesar. Collingwood had slipped. Look at the way Ganguly had to stretch for it. Would have been a fantastic catch if he had latched onto it.
It just goes wide of Collingwood, and he's good in there, Collingwood.
Gone up for the catch. And Simon Tarfel doesn't agree. 113 for 3. This is the last ball of that Panesar over.
Well, there's a big appeal, mainly from Monty Panesar. There usually is, and it's a sharp catch, but it comes just off the pad.
Just over and for 4. Yes, he does flirt with that area, does Ganguly, and this time it's produced a boundary. 127 for 3.
Oh, this is a great catch. That is an amazing catch. And Chris Tremlett takes his first wicket in Test cricket. Wasim Jaffer is on his way back.
And just as Nasser was saying, if you get into that mode where you're just trying to play out time, survive till the end of the day's play, this can happen. That's not the natural game for Wasim Jaffer, just poking and prodding. And there the short ball has surprised him. Didn't play with a soft bottom and looped it up in the air. And this is a terrific catch by Chris Tremlett to get a first wicket in Test cricket. And a blow for India. India have lost the well-set Wasim Jaffer, and they are 134 for 4.
Rudra Pratap Singh, age 21, left-arm medium pacer, right-handed batsman.
21 years of age. RP Singh comes in as a night watchman, and he's got about 6 overs to deal with here, and he'll be pounding inside that shirt there. The nervous moments. That's a great moment for Chris Tremlett.
First Test wicket here at Lords as well. What a place to get it, what a way to get it. Tall man has to get down. Diving forward, never easy. It was in the air for a long time, but in your follow through you have to pick up the ball. It's a very, very fine catch, and a crucial catch.
It's turned away nicely by Ganguly. It's a chase for Monty. Monty's going to have to get a dive in. Oh dear. Well, he got half a dive, but it's 4.
It's always difficult going down towards the tavern. The ball runs away from you all the time. Ganguly just pushed it really. He was only expecting 2 or 3. Monty went down, fingers Monty. Nope.
He's played that quite well. Oh, it could be a run out. He's going to run himself out. Well, Simon Toffel is going to go upstairs for the decision. That was absolute farce from RP Singh.
Yes, he has. Poor old Monty. Desperate for the run out. RP Singh with the dive gets home.
He's not out. It's a good looking stroke. Panesar gives chase. Ganguly's racing back for the second. But he is in obvious discomfort. RP Singh picks up 2 more.
That's over and time.
That is time on day 2. .58 from Wasim Jaffer in 156 deliveries. Dravid went cheaply for 2, Karthik for 5, Tendulkar for 37. England's bowlers have attacked. Side bottom 1 for 48, 2 for 26 Jimmy Anderson, 1 for 29 Chris Tremlett making his debut, his first wicket in Test cricket. Collingwood and Panesar with 11 overs between them. Match summary at the end of day 2 of this first N-Power Test match. England bowled out for 298 and India 145 for 4. India are 153 runs behind.